blockchain, Web3, all this other stuff that's grown around outside of Bitcoin in this token ecosystem, it's all logically incoherent. There is absolutely no reason why any of this stuff is ever going to create net value for society or for the economy. It's all basically just an excuse to play casinos and speculate.
Say that again. You said what's going to happen?
No, if you see the liquidity evaporating in the market, I think what's going to happen is that the smaller currencies that are really illiquid are facing a risk of being delisted from different exchanges in an effort to protect the consumers.
Michael Saylor owns one of the largest holdings of Bitcoin after investing billions of dollars over the years through his investment firm MicroStrategy. He's always been critical of any cryptocurrency that is not Bitcoin, and with the unraveling of the FTX fraud that has destroyed the value of the FTT token, it seems Michael Saylor was right to write off all altcoins as useless. But is he truly justified? How much destruction is to follow, and is there any hope for the crypto market? Stay tuned as he answers these questions. Click the notification button, turn on the notification bell, and let's get into today's video.
This crash accelerates regulatory intervention. I mean, in fact, in a sense, right, SBF is like the Jordan Belfort of the crypto era. Instead of the Wolf of Wall Street, they'll make a movie called The King of Crypto. This is going to bring in the SEC, the CFTC at a much greater rate. And the future of the entire industry is digital assets trading on registered digital assets trading on regulated exchanges. So to the extent that there's something good in the crypto industry, the good stuff is a digital exchange that trades 24/7, 365, trading on 8 billion Android and iPhones, digital currency available to Argentinians and Lebanese and people all through Africa and Asia that are blocked from the US financial system, the ability to issue tokens if you're a creator and monetize your brand, and the ability to deliver digital securities that trade 24/7, 365 at the speed of light, friction-free, outside of the traditional banking system, which is in essence a monopoly on assets. So those are the good things. The problem is those have been pursued by the crypto industry in an unethical, unstable, technically irresponsible fashion. And this is just highlighting the fact that a good idea pursued in an unethical, irresponsible fashion is a bad idea. I think that the regulators have it right. The idea is you should be able to register your digital asset. If you have a stable coin, you should register it with the SEC. If you have a security, you should register it. If you want your crypto token to be designated a commodity and an asset without an issuer, you ought to have a registration process. And if you want to run a digital exchange that trades all these tokens, you should be a regulated, transparent exchange that's trustworthy. And I think the regulators get it. I think the politicians get it. I think it's been a very expensive process going through Terra and Luna and Celsius and Three Arrows and now FTX's collapse. But at this point, I don't think there's anybody in the Western world that doesn't understand the risks of allowing people to promote unregistered securities on unregulated exchanges. And so what's going to happen? You're going to see a massive shakeout. 99% of these air tokens are going to go away. They're literally the penny stocks of our era. The joke, of course, is penny stocks used to trade for a nickel, whereas some of these dog coins are trading for fractions of a penny. They're not even penny stocks. At one point, they created a token which was 0.00001 cent, so that you couldn't even read the price of the token on an 8 significant digit display on a crypto exchange. So that stuff's got to go. And what needs to replace it is ethically sound, technically sound, economically sound digital assets. The industry needs to grow up.
Talk about crypto regulation is not new, but why have regulators waited for a disaster of this magnitude to happen before stepping up? Seems we always need a scapegoat before we take action, and Sam Bankman-Fried is looking very much like the scapegoat regulators have been waiting for. All across quarters, the authorities are beginning to lend their voice to the matter. The FBI is involved. The Securities Exchange Commission, better known as the SEC, and even the White House are also on the matter. How severe will the consequence be? Well, for one, we can start with proper registration, monitoring, and guidelines for the exchanges and all establishments involved in the crypto market. From the quarters of the FBI and the Attorney General's office, it seems there will be criminal charges pursued. The current FTX crisis was catalyzed by the FTX international side of the company, which is the one outside the purview of the U.S. authorities. But now that the chips are down, the company, which is headquartered in the Bahamas, is not going to be able to escape the arms of the U.S. law. Besides this, the Bahamas are also stepping up to the plate, same with many other nations who are beginning to look into their crypto regulations. As Michael Saylor said, this is going to have the ripple effect of creating the long overdue regulations the industry has always needed to weed out shady projects. Mr. Saylor says two things must happen. The cryptos have to be duly registered, and the exchange that gives them value must be regulated. There are more people around the world that have access to the internet than have bank accounts. Out of a mind-blowing 1.7 billion adults reported not to have bank accounts, a huge chunk of about 1.1 billion of them have mobile phones. As Michael Saylor said, it makes sense to give this set of people banking access using the blockchain technology. Regulation may be the first step in this direction, but do you know what the big price would be if cryptocurrencies were to be regulated? Well, a lot of the existing cryptocurrencies and exchanges are unlikely to pass the requirements, meaning it would be near their end. This weeding out would translate to more massive crashes in the crypto market.
The collapse of FTX and FTT represents a corrupt crypto bank collapse fueled by an inflationary fiat cryptocurrency. So, as Gary Gensler has said, the vast majority of all the cryptos are unregistered securities. They're trading on unregulated exchanges. Proof of stake tokens are backed by nothing, which is why FTT could be printed into the $8 billion zone. And this is simply a very expensive lesson for the crypto ecosystem and the difference between crypto and Bitcoin. And so, I think that people need to decipher this. FTX, generated an FTT token. If you trade your own token on your own exchange with wash trading, with leverage, you can park the price at any number you want. So you want to make $1 billion, you jack the price by $3 by wash trading with yourself. Then you generate $1 billion of collateral. Then you look for a bank that'll loan you money against the collateral. And of course, nobody in their right mind should be loaning money against an air token that you manipulated yourself. But of course, Sam happened to be the CEO of a bank that made loans. So he applied for a loan from his own bank and he granted it to himself. And then he took real assets like Bitcoin from his honest customers. And then he rehypothecated them, traded them, lost them. And so this is just an egregious ethical lapse, and it can't go on. These exchanges cannot continue to be unregistered, unregulated offshore.
While everyone, including Michael Saylor, are focused on regulations, everyone seems oblivious to the fact that Sam Bankman-Fried was in talks with the SEC, so much that Gary Gensler, the SEC chairman, is being fingered as complicit in the fraud. The SEC's stance on regulation has always been the same, to get the players in this field regulated. But is it going to be enough? Will this solve all the malpractices going on in the space, which the SEC chair has called significantly non-compliant? As for Michael Saylor, Bitcoin is the only crypto he can trust. He thinks all the cryptocurrencies have no value. Let's have your thoughts in the comments below. Like this video and subscribe to the channel. We promise you top-notch analysis. Thanks for watching.